So on your charging cable microphone repair, this cable actually controls a couple of things. It controls your headset jack, the microphone, the home key cable, the charging or lightning dock, part of the ringer loudspeaker module, and your antenna. If all of these aren't working, or if none of them are working, then it's just unplugged. You could probably just replug it back in and that should fix the issues. If you're having problems with just one of these things, then we'll show you how to replace the actual cable itself. Now for the home key, that's also part of the home key video, and if you need to see how to replace the home key itself, then you can watch that video. Same with the antennas. If you're having problems with the antenna, you can watch the antenna video, and same with the ringer loudspeaker module. If you're having a problem with that, then you can watch the ringer loudspeaker video. But we'll show you how to change this out and then get you going again. So we'll go to the close-up and I'll show you the screws. We have 4 screws here, one right there, one down there, one there, and one there. Now we'll remove those 4 screws, and then what we'll need to do is, once we remove the mic cover, we'll actually change that out over to the new microphone, and then we'll have this spacer right here, and we'll change the spacer to the new plug. Now another thing to remember is when you're taking this out, there's 4 washers underneath these screws, and you'll probably want to hold this the frame and everything as flat as possible, just so when you do take this out, the washers don't fall all over the place. But anyway, so we'll remove the screws, we'll remove the mic cover, and then we'll kind of go from there. So we'll get started. So just like the other videos, you'll want to keep all of your screws in order. It just helps when you're going to put everything back in place, that we have everything where we want it. So what we'll do, we need to get this coupling cable out from underneath of the headset jack. So we'll lift that, and then we'll just slide that cable out right there. And then we can move this mic cover back, and then everything else should be out. So we'll just kind of start from the back, and we'll just lift that up, and it'll kind of remove the adhesive on there, and just wiggle it, and it should be able to wiggle it out of place right there. Now those are the little washers that you want to be aware of. Just keep this as flat as possible so you don't lose any of them. So the first thing we'll switch over is the mic cover, and with this there's just a little opening on the underside right there. And so what you can do is either get your tweezers or your screwdriver or something, and just kind of wiggle it, and it's adhered down. There's a little bit of adhesive holding it down onto the mic, but if you kind of work it around and out, you should be able to get this off fairly easy. And then we'll put it on the new mic the same way. So we'll just slide the new mic into the opening. We can hold that and just kind of push it down. We should get it right in place. Okay. And then the other thing we'll do is we'll just change this spacer out from this one to this one. Okay, so that's pretty much everything that we need to change over. Now the other thing we'll do is we'll remove these backing pieces. There we go. Get those out of the way. Then we should be good to go. So the easiest way to put this in is to probably hold it at kind of like a 45, and as you slide it in place, you'll be able to get this lip right here on the edge of this charging cable to slide right into the opening right inside of your where the charger actually goes into. So you kind of slide that in. It may take you a second, but once you get it close, it should line up, and you'll know if it lined up because then you can look inside, and if everything looks even, then you're good to go. So once we get that lined up, what we'll do is we'll put our screw in place just to hold that down for right now. And then the other thing that we'll get done right away is we'll actually put this coupling cable again underneath, underneath the headset connector. And this one may be a little trickier, but you kind of work them together, then you should be able to get that lined up. And you don't want to tighten this down too much, you just want it enough to secure it in place, so that way you can still move the headset connector back and forth. Then we'll get this mic cover lined up. Once you get that lined up, you should just be able to slide it in. There you go. We have 2 screws left, and we should be good. Now what we'll want to do again, is put everything back in and test it, but just make sure everything lines up properly, and that when you go to put everything back in place, nothing's out of line, or you could have problems. But that's replacing your charging cable and microphone, and hope that fixes the problem you're having.